What's up everyone and welcome back. Today I have some exciting news. As you can see behind me, I bought some toys. We had a 2007 CRF100 and a 2002 JR80. I've been wanting an XR for about 2 years now, ever since I found out how much fun they actually are to ride. It's kind of like an adult pit bike on steroids. Everyone kind of rides around, well, pit bikes that size and smaller, like CRF50s, little KTM 50s and whatnot. This is a pit bike. You get your clutch, 5-speed transmission. It's got a 19-inch front wheel, a 16-inch rear wheel. Like it's a pretty good sized bike. You might be wondering, I've been looking for a CRF100. Why do I have a Suzuki JR80? That is a good question. The answer to that question is, it was a good deal. And it happened to be at the same home as the CRF100, so it was kind of a 2-for-1 deal, to be honest with you. Quite surprisingly, this is a terror to ride. Between the small tires, the clutch, 5-speed, and it's a 2-stroke, and it's pretty fast. Just for reference, when I say fast, to give you a little idea of what I have experience-wise, I do have in race a KTM 350, ridden plenty of sport bikes, exotic cars, all that stuff. So it's, yeah, when I say it's fast, it's kind of fast. It's a little surprising. I think in a straight line, it's probably going to take the CRF100. I think between how much lower it sits to the ground and the small tires, it's going to be absolutely petrifying to open it up for real. So maybe we'll drag race it. For now, it's probably going to stay just the way it is. It needs a few maintenance items. As you can see, the rear tire's flat, shifters bent. Front plate brake lever is broken, and I think it just needs a basic maintenance, just like this other one, fresh fuel and whatnot. But they both start, run, ride, fire up almost first kick. It's pretty amazing. My girlfriend's dad actually introduced me to the XR100. Him and his friends used to ride them around in the snow, trails, whatever, kind of just as like a cure to seasonal depression. I live in New England and it's snowing outside right now, so you can see how it could get a little depressing. I mean, it's almost dark out. You probably can't see it, but it's almost dark out. I have pretty similar plans with mine, to be honest with you. Like I said, it's snowing out, and I've already ridden it in the snow, as you've probably already watched. And it's an absolute blast. Now that I've acquired the CRF100, I think it's time for a build. On top of having an absolute load of fun on these things, my goal with this project is to kind of just have a budget, nice pit bike, something that I can represent my business with, do a little fab work on, some 3D printing stuff, really kind of trick it out, if you will. My first goal with the bike is going to be a basic tune-up, you know, plug, wire, fresh fuel, air filter change, tires, check brakes, basic clutch adjustments, stuff like that. You never know how things have been taken care of in their past lives. Facebook Marketplace finds, Craigslist. It's always better to be on the safe side and just do things yourself. With a tune-up done, we're going to do some basic maintenance. Tires, probably going to check the brakes to see the pad and drum life. Chances are they're probably fine. They seem to be fine, but I'm going to check them anyways. Might do a chain and sprockets. It's definitely too tight now. Over the next couple months, I'll be filming and releasing episodes of the build so that you guys can kind of follow along with what I'm doing. I plan to stop and highlight a few areas along the way, how-tos, simple tips and tricks, basic maintenance, and then get into some really cool stuff that I have planned for it. So yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy, grab some popcorn, and we're going to start tinkering. Like I was saying, basic maintenance goes a long ways, and as you can see, we need a front tire. Like, I can't even put studs in this thing. Or I don't dare to put studs in this thing because there's no knobs to put studs into. As you can see, it's missing the factory heat shield. This is a big no-no on a pit bike. Your leg literally runs right next to this, and it gets warm. It gets very warm. Not to mention the fact that this bracket right here will absolutely destroy your leg as you come down on the Kickstarter. Let's see. Probably can't see it because I got boots on, but your leg will come right into contact with it. So if the lack of the heat shield doesn't kill you, these foot pegs probably are going to. I think these are the finest aluminum, well, I say aluminum. These are the finest pot metal foot pegs that Amazon has to offer. I did a quick search online actually. You can find similar ones to these for like $8, I think. And as you can see, they didn't even put the return spring back on it. Probably didn't fit, and they used a wicked janky cotter pin on the bottom there, which is probably gonna cut someone. Not good. The rear tire has fared slightly better than the front tire. We're still missing lugs and whatnot, but it's not too bad. It's a Kenda, I believe. It's a 90-116 Kenda. So this is kind of scary. They've used washers on the backs of the chain adjusters. If I had to guess, I would imagine that in between the washers here and the nut, either it's stripped or it's completely rusted, because based on the look of this, it's all corroded. I'm not sure if I'm going to replace the chain adjusters or if I'm going to upgrade them to a slightly more robust unit to prevent this from happening. The chain and sprockets aren't anything to write home about. They're actually kind of rusty because I didn't oil them last night after riding it. It's far too tight for someone, especially my weight. The sprocket's not in terrible shape. It's not quite pointy yet. The Amazon aluminum accessories are very strong. With this one, we have the same nice foot peg on this side. No spring, janky cotter pin that's going to cut your leg. We have a aftermarket shifter, which actually has a brand on it. It says RVTV or RUTU, something like that. Don't know, never heard of them, and chances are it's probably going to go. Just for reference, this is my hand's width. I can't fit my boot in between the shifter without completely folding my ankle over to get to it. I'm sure in an actual motocross boot, it's going to be even worse. So I have to address that, probably put stock pegs back on it, because I'm really not looking to get my shin split open by these studs or whatever they're called. Bolt spikes, shin killers. One of the easiest maintenance items and one of the most forgotten about, and probably something you should check on a regular basis, especially if you live in a dusty climate or muddy climate, or actually let's rephrase that. You should be checking your air filter on a regular basis. Honda hides probably a super tiny air filter right here under the seat. There's no special tools to access it. There's no bolts. You don't have to pull off the seat. You don't have to pull the fender. Nothing. You just reach underneath. You see this rubber tab right here? You pull down on it and slightly forward, and there is a metal clip that connects to a similar plastic clip underneath. So you pull that up out of the way. You can pop the air filter housing out if you can squeeze it by the fender. The air filter is held in a similar manner. It's just a compression clip. You push forward, and there's a little metal tab right here. You pull up, you slide out, out comes the filter. There's a little bit of gasoline by the smell. This probably backfire, or maybe they soak the filter. I'm not 100% sure. It's definitely dirty, definitely going to be replaced. The intake track similarly dirty, covered in crud. I'm going to pull that off and clean it as well. Installation is the same way. The filter pops into its little housing. Push forward on the clip, slide the tab down, it's in. The cover goes on the same way it came out. Slide it up in, it goes on much easier than how it came off. Pull down on the rubber strap, get the tab up underneath, give it a tug, make sure it's secure, and you're good.